Okay, here we are on our lead vocal, and this is what it sounds like. Let's take it from the top. You can see that I've employed a high pass filter here, and if you've known anything I've been talking about with EQ, is that a lot of this is taking out a little bit of boxiness and then adding a little intelligibility up the top, and that's exactly what we've done here. Let's listen to our lead vocal without EQ. Let's listen to it flat. I think it comes up in a couple of measures. Here we go.
Since the day your heart was open and you were willing to believe that greater love was leading your heart to mine.
So look at the lowest frequencies.
And the peace we share was already there inside of us.
So you can see that's the fundamental right there. If you start looking at these spectral windows, you really start realizing what's going on. Like if the melody is kind of hovering around here and it goes inside of us, right there, that's what's going on. Probably the lowest I'm hitting is probably around 100 hertz, something like that. That's why a high pass filter works really well. But there is a bit of boxiness there, and I do like to add just a little bit of top end, a little bit of sheen. So let's listen to this flat, and then we'll add the equalizer.
Now I know it might be tough.
That's dropped in.
To lay your heart right on the line.
Because
I know you've had your share of hurts
just gets
along
really
the way.
muddy. So just scoop out
but
just a couple of
at the
dBs.
end of the day, you gotta trust someone.
And of course, all of this is
Let
junk
it be
down
me.
here. Let's take it all out. So let's listen to this in the context of a mix.
Look into my eyes and you'll see that I'll go wherever you'll be. I think I've captured your heart, and I know you've got mine.
I think the guitar solo comes in right about now. In fact, let's hear that part right there.
And I know.
Let's hear this with just the vocals. I'll just close this out, and we're going to solo just all the vocals.
And I know you've got mine.
A couple of things to note from that is that you can get really high. I can't hit those notes. If I tried to do it now, it would be really, I don't know. I don't think it would even be able to hit it. But if they're low enough in the mix, some amazing things happen. I don't know whether you guys really get into doubling and tripling vocals, but it's a great way. It can make you sound a whole lot better than you really are. This is kind of off topic, but it was funny. I was going to my daughter's musical the other day, and it's amazing how there's probably 150 kids there. None of them can sing a lick, right? But when you get them all together, something kind of magical happens, is that you can actually discern a melody, and they do actually sound in tune. So there's something that kind of goes on when you have a bunch of vocals together. It sounds better than just a sum of their parts, if you know what I mean. Another thing to note is, what kind of microphone was this? If you've seen any of my other training, you probably are shouting out the answer, because it's not an expensive microphone. Let's listen to it.
Now I know it might be tough to lay your heart right on the line, 'cause I know you've had your share of hurts along the way.
That microphone is under $100. It's an MXL V67G. You know, I can certainly afford to get a nicer mic, but you know, when I think I'd have to spend $1,000 more to get something appreciably better. Certainly within a mix. I mean, listen to it within a mix.
No way. But at the end of the day, had your share of hurts along the way. But at the end of the day, you gotta.
I mean, it sounds pretty decent. I don't know. Maybe there's some. I hate to call them, but snobs who are like, "Oh, I'd never use a microphone that cheap." Well, thing is, I'm not. I'm not a professional songwriter. I make these songs just for fun. I enjoy recording songs, and if you can get away with something like that, that's a pretty decent. It's probably a better mic than has been used historically on people who were spending lots and lots of money on mics. There's certainly some tried and true microphones that have been around forever that are expensive, aka AKG 414, a Norman U87, some Telefuncas and things like that. But for the most part, anyway, I feel like I'm rambling here. Do you get the idea? You don't have to have really expensive stuff. That guitar was a Epiphone. The guitar amp wasn't the most expensive guitar amp in the world. The bass, I spent a bit of money. That was $1,500, I would say. But $100 mic, you can get good results. Certainly, if you start recording with real junk, then you really do have to start EQing a lot more, and you know what, it starts sounding pretty bad. Now, before we leave this area, let's look over at this EQ'd echo.